This is Haiti. Haiti was a minor colony controlled by the French. Its population was made up of mainly slaves, and its ratio of slaves was 10 to 1. Its social class consisted of the Grand Blancs, the Petit Blancs, the free people of color, and the slaves. The Grand Blancs were the white upperclassmen of Saint Domingue. It consisted of planters, bureaucrats, and so on. They had the most power. The Petit Blancs were the more poor of the white underclassmen, which included laborers and artisans. The free people of color were under the Petit Blancs, and they included people of mixed African, European, or of other certain non-white descent who were not enslaved. At the bottom of the class system is the Haitian slaves. They are the African descent, and they were sold to Haiti during the African slave trade. Haiti's economy was based off of plantations, and the labor was done by slaves. Slaves started the rebellion in 1791, and in 1803 they were successful and ended the slavery. A huge cause of the Haitian Revolution was the use of slaves for labor production. Haiti became one of France's wealthiest colonies because they would trade huge amounts of indigo, sugar, cotton, and coffee. Haiti also had a history of slave rebellions. The slaves always had power with their status and strength with large numbers, but the planters and colonial officials did all they could, and they had little power, so they could not control them. Problems with the social class started rising. The Grand Blancs had the most power, but they weren't very happy because the government were too powerful about their business. The Petit Blancs weren't happy about the wealth of the higher classes because they were always jealous of it. The free people of color were not happy because they were still being discriminated against for their skin color, even though they weren't slaves anymore. But the slaves had realized that they were a majority of the population, and they were treated very cruelly, so they got a sense of rebellion. For a decade, Haiti accounted for more than 1/3 of the Atlantic slave trade. Conditions of the slaves were horrible. They were starved, and many of them attempted to commit suicide. The death rate was very high, and many of them were abused. Most slaves did not exceed the age of 21.
The Haitian Revolution was successful. The goal was to be freed from the control of France and to abolish slavery, and they accomplished that. Despite all of this, there were a few problems. The country was in total ruins. The whole majority of Haiti were mainly slaves, which were now freed. Most of them were uneducated and didn't really have a good lifestyle. Not to mention, most of the plantations were destroyed over rebellions. After the revolt, the Haitian economy was based on agriculture. They didn't have much since the plantations were either burned down or ruined. Their economy was harmed due to the post-war independence debt, which was completely paid off in 1947. The independence debt was what the Europeans charged Haiti for the French slave owners. They had to pay this in order to join the world economy. This made it seem, even after winning, Haiti had to pay for their freedom. $21 billion. In 1791, slave rebellions by Toussaint began. In August of 1791, a slave revolt in the northern province occurred. 200 sugar estates were burned down, 1,000 whites were killed, and many were forced to leave. In 1792, National Assembly gave voting rights to all free people of color. In February 7, 1794, the National Convention makes the free people of color and the slaves French citizens and gives them political rights. This officially outlaws legal distinctions between races. In 1801, Napoleon came to Haiti and wants to restore slavery. In 1802, French General Leclerc arrests Louverture, Toussaint, basically, and Napoleon exiled him to France. In 1804, we finally got our independence, and Haiti is now an independent state. The end. This is Haiti. Haiti has a population ratio of 10 to 1, 10 being the amount of slaves they have and 1 being the amount of white people they have. Haiti slash Saint Domingue had a societal system. At the top were the Grand Blancs, and then the Petit Blancs, and then the free people of color, and then the slaves. The Grand Blancs were at the top of the social class pyramid, and they owned many slaves and plantations. Petit blancs were usually artists, merchants, white people who were a little bit lower. And free people of color were people who, like slaves or any descent that was freed. And slaves are slaves. They got their freedom they started rebelling in 1794 by a guy named Toussaint. Toussaint was a former slave who disciplined slave armies and helped fight in the revolution. They got their freedom in 1804, and they were also freed from French. They did this by abolishing slavery. Abolishing is a practice getting rid of a system. In 1792, they established a decree called the 1792 Decree, where it granted slaves and free people their citizen rights. After the war, and after Haiti got their freedom, France charged Haiti the independence debt. The independence debt was what the European powers charged Haiti for the French slave owners before they could join the world economy. This essentially made it seem that even after winning, they had to pay for their freedom. $21 billion. Haiti was in ruins after the economy. In 1947, Haiti had finally paid off all that $21 billion of debt. This made Haiti happy, and at last they could join the world economy. Thank you. Bye.